Alright guys, so a lot of you have been asking me about how to do well on the AWA section. Well, the AWA section is like something that I did not practice for a lot, or maybe I just spent like, maybe not even 1 or 2 days on it properly, because it was basically in the last week that I prepared for the AWA, and before that I was just kind of, busy with my internship and my math and my verbal preparation. So basically I did not get the time. Plus, we all have other stuff to do. Like I used to go to the gym and everything. So basically there used to be like zero time left, and I never really got to basically preparing for the AWA. However, when I was like in my last month of preparation, I did start this AWA group. I made it like a WhatsApp group, and basically some people really wanted to get in, so I just made sure that the people who would really want to participate would be in there, and we would basically just write an essay from 10 to 10:30 every night, alternating between issue and argument essays on alternating days. But however, it did not work out. It was like only for 2 or 3 days that it worked. But after that, because mostly people did not have the time, or even I got kind of bored. So instead, what you should do is actually, if you are at the end of your preparation, you should make sure that you write all of the AWA sections when you're writing your mock tests. This is the biggest regret that I have. I did not do that, and I ended up with a 4.5, which is pretty cool. It's above average, but I think I could have done better if I had just prepared for it. So just write down these your solutions. Basically write down your responses when you're doing your when you're doing your mock tests. Don't skip them, and yeah, that should really get you used to them. But basically, how do you prepare for this? Because you can't just start writing, you need to prepare first. So if you're just very new to this concept of AWA, they are very different from how they are actually, how the essay writing used to be when we used to be in school. They are very different. So you need to know a few key points, especially for the argument one. That's relatively easier, and the issue essay is relatively harder. So how you just begin with this is actually just look at this book. First of all, I'm sure you've looked at this book. This is the official guide for the GRE. What you want to do is actually go to this analytical writing section first of all. Alright, they have like a lot of instructions. Just read through these, just skim through these. No need to actually just have them in your head basically. Alright, so they do give you some of the responses here, and you can basically check these out, some of the questions here, sorry, and then basically they tell you how to prepare for it and everything. Alright, then comes the part where you have a sample issue essay. Alright, what you want to do is you want to read this question, you want to write down all of your points, maybe even try to write your own essay before actually taking a look at your response, and then read how these people do it. Basically read their strategies. Alright, read how they have basically done it. Then they've basically done given you responses for every score, basically score 6, score 5, score 4, like that. Right, so you can just read all of these, and you can also read the commentary. This is very important because you know how the grader is kind of checking the AWA. You need to know how the grader's minds works. You need to know the test better than the test maker, so you can basically score well, right? So you need to record all of these into your head. Like this is probably even more important than all of this, because this tells you where even the score 6 response went wrong and what it actually did well, so that you can kind of incorporate that into your own essays. Alright, and don't just stop here. Do the score 5 as well, and probably score 4 as well. Maybe then you can stop, but don't just stop. You need to know the mistakes as well that you might make and that other people are making. So first of all, first step should be reading through these responses. If you can, just read all of these, and then you do the similar thing with the argument task. Next, what I would suggest is, when you are preparing for these, if you have access to Magoosh videos, please do check them out, because they are very helpful. I think I would like to say that Magoosh videos are responsible for my argument essays score, because I did not prepare for the argument essay at all till at least the last few weeks of my exam, and the argument essay is actually very easy, and how Magoosh breaks it down for you is just amazing. And you can basically I don't think it's going to be really hard for you if you look at those videos and basically understand those points that they're elaborating over. They are just a few points that you need to make sure that, you know, basically like city A and city B are not the same. So basically if something happens in city B does not mean that it will go the same way in city B. It can mean anything, you know. So something like that. They have like 5 or 6 points. Just make sure you get those, and on the basis of those points you're going to be able to write your essay, right? And okay, this is from the like official guide. Now what you want to do is actually, if you are, you know, approaching your GRE data, or if you do not plan to give these written tests, they have 2 written tests at the end of the book. What you want to do is actually take a look at their issue topic, and then, you know, do like take 30 minutes, provide your response after you're prepared and you've done everything. You know, just start and give your response, and then compare with the solution that they provide. They do provide solutions, by the way. So these are some very good topics that you can basically practice on. Now how you actually going to practice is basically this. Take any software, any notepad software, you know, just take this topic here, paste it over here, and just start your essay from here. Alright, you cannot copy anything from here, even though the GRE allows you to copy and paste, that they don't allow you to copy anything from the question. So maybe if you are writing, you know, something like this, you know, whatever, I am a boy or something, and you need to copy it downstairs, just you can copy your own response. That's all. You cannot keep copying. So basically you can use copying for, like, you know, big words. They might have something like Vladimir or something like, you know, something you wanna make sure you don't want to type every time. So just keep them copied to your clipboard, and make sure you just, you know, paste whenever you need, right? So when basically, you know, you can just use that. Alright, again, you have 30 minutes. You want to make sure you spend at least 2 or 3 minutes jotting down the like points on which you are going to basically present on. So you can just do something like this. This is what I actually used to do, what I actually did on the actual test as well. For and against. Okay, this was the first thing I would do before even my test, you know, started. I mean, before even I started writing anything. Like, I would try to make sure I have like 2 or 3 points in both of these, and then the number of points which were, you know, let's suppose I have like 3 points here and 2 points here. So I think it's better for me if I elaborate on these 3 points, because I have 3 points here and only 2 points here. Now there's something called as the concession point as well in the issue essay. This is about the issue essay, by the way. So you can use one of these points as well, you know, in the concession point, or maybe an amalgamation of those. So make sure you actually do this, and just, you know, suppose you have some point over here, something like this. So what you can do is actually, you know, just copy from this point and start writing over here, right? You know, like whatever you want. So just keep copying from here, or maybe just keep cutting out these, so that you don't you know, forget that you've actually used this point, and start doing that. Right? And examples are very important in issue essays, so make sure you, whenever you have one point, you give an example for it as well. Alright, so this is all about the issue essay. And coming to your argument essay, again it's the same thing. When you have the argument essay, just when you've actually watched those videos or something and prepared from them, you can actually, you know, just copy this and then bring it over here. Now you don't need to do for and against in this thing. This is only for the issue essay. Just write down your, you know, points, how you can make the argument weaker, right? So that, you know, basically they are talking about here Dr. Karp and his research, which was conducted 20 years ago, and, you know, things have probably changed from then. So this is one point, you know, 20 years ago and now there can be a huge difference. People can have moved in, people can have moved out of the society, so there can be a lot of different changes that could have come between those 20 years. So something like that. Basically, you make sure you have at least 3 of these points, and then start writing on the basis of these points only. Okay, now you should be done by this in both of your essays after like at least 2 or 3 minutes. At the maximum of 2 or 3 minutes, take a maximum of 2 or 3 minutes, but don't exceed that. Don't keep thinking. Like, start writing if you don't have any points, because it's gonna take a lot of time. You wanna make sure you get at least 500 words on these essays. At least 500 words, because I think I would probably try to get 550 or 600 even. But, you know, write stuff, but don't, make sure that you're not really, you know, kind of repeating stuff or kind of putting in redundancies in there. You don't need that, right? the essay reader needs to read your essay and feel like, alright, I'm reading something authentic that I've never read before, and give him some of the ideas that he wants to listen to. So okay, this is about your practicing. Now I know this is just practice and you cannot get these graded. Now I want to tell you about two services. I think there's one from ETS which takes about $20 or $10, and they grade one of your essays each, one issue essay and one argument essay. I don't know if you should spend on such a service. I mean, if you're really skeptical about your abilities on this section of the test, definitely go for it. But there's probably, I think you know about Princeton. You have like 5 or 6 Princeton mocks. If you do not know how to get them for free, do tell me about it in the comments. I would love to make a video on it, but I'm sure most of you do know about it. It's pretty easy to crack. Get their videos, and whenever you write a mock test, just make sure that you are writing the essay, and they will grade it for you. The grading is done in about 4 or 5 hours. So after you check your portal, 4 or 5 hours later, they might have already graded it, and you can just check your grade. I used to get like a grade 5 most of the times, so I was pretty happy about it. So I wouldn't say it's very accurate because I got a grade 4 on the actual test, but I'm not sure. Maybe I just kind of couldn't handle the pressure or something. Maybe that's why, or maybe the algorithm is a little faulty, but it's still very close. 4.5 and 5 were still very close, so I think that's fine. You should still try to get this, and yeah, of course, if you would like to improve, and if you would like more professional responses, I can give you that as well. You can just take a look at the 5-pound book, and at the last section here they have basically 10 of each type of essays. So basically what you can do is you can just go to the essay section. They'll have the essay, they'll have basically 10 topics, and then they'll have like 10 solutions for these essays, right? Again, 10 argument topics as well, and then the solutions. So basically this is kind of like how an expert at Manhattan would write it. So not only do they provide you with the essay, they also provide you with the mindset, like how this person thought before actually writing the essay, and then the whole essay, and then basically another reviewer would actually give it his own reviews, like how he thinks it could be made better, or maybe did the other person writing the essay address all of the points or everything. So this is what you can do to maybe improve it. This is more like a high level thing. If you already have watched the videos, Magoosh videos and everything, if you are writing your own essays, maybe you can refer to this to even improvise on that, right? So yeah, I think that's it about the AWA. You should be able to I'm not really getting into the details of each of these, like issue essay, you have to write examples on each of these, or how to do that, and because in the argument essay, what are the major basically points on which you can elaborate on, or what are the major kinds of weaknesses that are basically found in each and every passage. The reason is because you can actually find about them on the Magoosh videos. They are actually much better. Even if I try my best, I don't think I'll be able to reproduce something like that. So they have like 5 or 10 videos on each topic. So I really recommend that you watch it, and it would really help you out. So still, if you would like me to make a detailed video on each of these, I would definitely love to do that. I would do it. Just mention it in the comments, and I would make sure that there's a video up and running in about 24 hours. So I think that's all about the essays that I had to say. There's probably nothing else here. Don't worry about this so much, because at least if you're going for MS or something, they don't look at it so much. If you're going for a PhD, definitely you need to get a score of 4.5 or above. That's like a mandatory thing. But and make sure that the timer is kind of like your friend. So don't it's kind of like helping you. Don't kind of be afraid of it. Don't try to hide it. I would recommend just keep doing your thing, and make sure that you time everything, that I should be done by at least 2 of these within the first 10 minutes, at least 2 of these paragraphs or something like that. So if you do that, you will make sure that you're not lagging behind, or you have the same number of paragraphs consistently whenever you practice. So I think that would be all, and if there's anything else I can mention on it, please let me know about it. Anything else that I forgot to mention probably, but this is all. Alright, thanks, and consider subscribing if you like this video.